Ciao everyone, I'm Alessandro, I'm the founder of Narici, and we are here today because Slow Food Day is approaching, and I've got some very special guests, and we're going to talk about one of our single origin ingredients, which we use in our flagship perfume, Narici #1, which is sesame. It's specifically sesame from Ispica. It's from Sicily, it's a Slow Food Presidium, and there is a very beautiful story behind it. Today we have Simon, who is going to host this chat after this brief introduction, and Rossella Gambuzza from the company, family company, that actually produces the raw material, which we then transform to use in perfumery.
Hello, hi.
Hello. Yeah, this is exciting. Just a little bit of background on me, Rossella. I've got my own little perfume brand as well, and my past at Lush was ethical buying, ethical supply chain. So very interested in kind of regenerative agriculture, and yeah, all of the kind of different facets of that. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear about your work.
So my name is Rossella. Actually, we are the third generation. We produce sesame. So my grandfather used to do, and my father as well. So all the techniques we know thanks to them. We are very proud to carry on this family tradition. Actually, the story of Sesame of Ispica is ancient and fascinating because the product arrived in Sicily thanks to Arab domination, and it found the best condition to grow. Our is a special variety, is a unique variety. We can see because it has a different color. It's an amber color. Round shape is cruncher, and the smell, the taste is completely different. The product is the result of ancient techniques as well, traditional techniques. So because we do everything by hand, this is very important to have a high quality product.
Yeah, I mean, Ali, I think have you got a sample of the sesame there?
Yes, I've got the sesame, actually,
yeah,
like the real thing, which I have been using for cooking. And as I was looking for like a nice sesame to use in perfume, I immediately found that this was this lovely project, and it was also very different from everything I tasted and smelled before. So yeah, so I had the urge to turn it into an absolute and use it in a perfume. And this is how this conversation came about, really.
So what is it that's different when you're saying that the flavor and the did you say the crunch and the color and everything? It sounds. I mean, my mouth is sort of salivating. It's a shame it's a shame, Ali, that I don't have any here. Hint, hint. But
supplies will arrive.
What is it that's so special about it then?
You know what is really unique? It's almost like if you had like a third variety of sesame, there's like a golden one. And in a way, when it kind of gets like cooked or baked, it has like a very unique popcorn hint. So it really reminds me of like a gourmand version of regular sesame, which then reflects into the extra that we do. So it's it's the color, it's the smell, it's the gourmand part. It's a little bit more animalic, weirdly, but also a little bit like toasted popcorns and seeds. So it's it's really interesting material.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's toasted, but it's not. We always say that it's a natural roasting under the Sicilian sun because we dry for 2 weeks under the sun, you know. So it's a natural toasting.
Wow, that couldn't sound any nicer, could it? To slightly toast under the Sicilian sun. That's got to be the nicest thing you could do. So Rossella, you use it. You have different products that you've made. Have you ever used it in a fragrance before? Is this completely new for you?
Yeah, it's completely new for us. We just have like a very small cosmetic line. Actually, I told Alessandro how it sparked out. So I mean, it was like, of course, we do everything by hand manually, And so after a day handling the product and the plant, my brother came back home and he said, look at that, my hands are very smooth. And so from that, we just thought to study actually properties better, about like the skin and body. And so from the aesthetic point of view, not just as a special food, because it's in our culture, like for the food culture, I mean. And then we decided to create a body oil. So we have just this small, I mean, cosmetic line, but we never thought about perfume. So Alessandro did it for us.
Because it's quite a strange ingredient to use in fragrance, isn't it, Ali? I mean, like I love using sesame, but it might not actually be that common, is it, in fragrance?
It's not very common. It's also very, very difficult to find. So, you know, I had access to Sesame Absolute before. And then when I went solo, this was impossible to find. So it's one of those materials that is not really readily available, but I loved it. I mean, the popcorn nuances, the gourmand part, the almost like sandalwood aspect. I think it's such a beautiful material. So really, the whole point was, if I can't buy it, I have to make it. And this is where this process started. And if I have to make it, I actually have to go and get the raw material. And then I had a look around, and this was an irresistible raw material to transform into an absolute.
And I know that actually making that into an absolute, that's not straightforward either. Do you want to talk about that? Is it a trade secret, Ali?
I think it's a bit of a trade secret also, because
I bet.
I've asked someone else to help me with that. It's quite a complicated process. And yeah, the solubility, it's not an easy task. But yeah, we've got it. We've made it.
Yeah, but that's perfect. I mean, it's like to get it from such a beautiful source as well is it really makes that the whole fragrance, I think, stand out. So yeah, I wouldn't mind just chatting a little bit about slow food in general, because I'm British and we do have the slow food movement in the UK, but it is even slower in the UK than it is elsewhere. So it would be really, lovely to understand how slow food kind of feeds into this and what the sort of principles are. I don't know, Rossella, if you're able to answer that.
This was very important for us because with the imported sesame, our sesame was disappearing. So thanks to local farmers, especially I can talk about my grandfather's brother, they decided to cultivate it in very small quantities for them, just to prepare the very traditional brittle that we used to make for Christmas here in Sicily. So thanks to them, we just keep it alive during the years. And in more or less 2016, there was an association. So still, there is an association here in Ispica. The name is Giugiulena Association, which is the like Sicilian name we use for sesame. And from this association, everything started. So started the creation of the Presidium. And slow food was very important for us because it gave us the right strength to go on. And because it's a great responsibility to be in, but we are proud because we share the same values. We have a shared philosophy, and so slow food is very important.
And what is that philosophy that kind of sits behind slow food then? Is it heritage, or is it good for the soil, or what is it?
Yeah, about the food, which should be like not fast food, but slow food, and should be like cleaned, good. So our production is 100% organic, of course. We do everything by hand. So they try to keep alive very spatial, small cultivation that there are everywhere because it's international. It's just not in Italy. So we have many presidium in Italy, but there are everywhere.
Can I say, as an Italian that came back to Italy after many years, it's such a pleasure to discover all of this Slow Food Presidium, because there is some amazing produce everywhere, like very, very small niche fruits, vegetables, but also cheeses. Things that have got like a long history and mostly an amazing taste. So, so yeah,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
it's really it's a
I
pleasure.
think it's the country that has more, I think.
I was born here, no? The
Yeah.
slow food movement was born here, so.
Yeah.
And we are a little bit obsessed with food, so it's a little bit like
Yeah,
religion.
that's true.
I mean, I have visited Sicily a few years ago, and I have to say, like, the food has stayed with us for a long time. I can remember me and my wife and kids. We went to, is it Noto?
Yeah.
And
Noto,
It
yes.
was me.
yeah, and we had an amazing meal just on the sort of main street. And for dessert, they had a menu, and it just had one item on it. It just said the chocolate, and we ate it, and it was just the chocolate. It was the best chocolate dessert. I couldn't describe it any other way. It takes the biscuit literally. From yeah, so yeah, I can fully. I'd love to be in Sicily right now, even though the weather's better here. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of slow food, I mean that just sounds ideal, and I really love the aspect of that where through the effort of slow food, you're actually preserving so much more than just one element. It sounds like you've got the preservation of the crop and the heritage, and also all of the benefits that that has to the environment as well, which is something that sounds very special. And like you say, Ali, without that effort, that could be lost. Rossella, your sesame could have been lost to kind of, I guess, to the annals of history, and that would be a real shame by the sound of it, because you know, when
yeah, because at the beginning there were many farmers who cultivated this crop, but now you can count in one hand, because it's very difficult to cultivate it and at the same time to sell to. So the market is not so easy, because of course it has different costs.
Yeah, I mean, in terms
It's
of
golden. It's a golden sesame. What do you expect?
Just to ask like a question about it, in terms of actually how you I'm interested in all this. So in terms of how you harvest it and the whole process there, obviously, so it's not mechanized at all.
No.
And what are the difficulties there in terms of actually producing it?
Yeah, so we do everything manually. So from the sowing to the harvesting, and I think maybe the harvesting is the hardest part, because you need to cut it and then so you tie into bundles and then into sieves, and then you clean it. So you clean the product thanks to sieves, special sieves. And the cleaning process is very difficult too, because there are many steps. And it is in the on the open field, because it needs to dry, and of course, like birds can eat it, and the wind. So so you lose a lot of product. Even when you clean it, all the impurities, like some part of the plant, or like the soil, or maybe the smaller seed, you lose it. So it's not so easy to have, for example, a kilo of sesame. So it takes a long process.
Wow, I mean, no wonder it's golden, because it sounds like it's probably worth its weight in gold, doesn't it? Yeah, that's incredible. And then in terms of the business model for you, is it something that is a passion project, or is it something that you really hope is a full business?
Just because we feel like a tradition, a family tradition, and we are young, so we dream, and so we just decide to go on with the project, and that's why we started just like farmers. So we only produce at the beginning, but now we also transform the product. So we produce other products like tahini or gomasio or many others, because we also decided to open just in June 2024 a shop, so people can come and visit our company and they can buy products in Ispica, because there was no shop. We just produced sesame. There was all. And then we also have a workshop, so where we process the sesame, and we have very innovative machines that help us to transform the main product.
That sounds absolutely incredible. I wonder,
And I can
before we
confirm that their tahina is amazing. Like
oh,
a
have you done
Sicilian,
oh my God. Can you
a
get,
Sicilian
Ali, you're gonna have to
tahini is
buy some.
wonderful.
Send me, can you get this all in the post to me, please? I
Yes,
I don't
yes.
think that's fair. Yeah, I don't
It
think
shall
that's
be
fair to just
organized.
keep sampling all this stuff. Rossella, before, I think maybe we need to wrap up, but I don't know if you want to just tell people where, if they want to find out any more information about you and your project and all the wonderful work you're doing, if you've got anywhere to go to find that out.
Yeah, we are a website. So on the website, sesamodispica.com, you can find all the info about our company and you can buy our products. But of course, our company is open to everybody. So everyone is welcome to visit us and discover the cultivation of sesame and taste the products, of course.
Wow. Yeah, we'll definitely be making a trip back to Sicily soon. Ali, would you like to add anything in?
No, it's been such a pleasure to work with such amazing materials. You know, like sometimes people think perfumery is like just a little bit like a chemical piece of work, and then you've got these extraordinary naturals that really make everything beautiful. And it's been such an honor. I mean, it's been an adventure, because it was the first time that we actually sourced the material and transformed it for perfumery. But then the result is amazing. You can smell it. And yeah, you can smell the quality literally from the perfume. So yeah, good raw materials really make all the difference. There is, you can't argue about that.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting my sesame and tahini in the post, Ali.
Okay, we will do that.
House for me.
Yes, yeah. Don't lose out. You know what Ali's like. But anyway. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.